Little Bummer Boy is the rather brilliantly titled festive episode of Kirstie. This is the fourth episode, and needless to say, this is taking place at Christmas time. It's directed by Andy Cadiff, written by Marco Pennette and Heide Perlman. We actually have, along with the usual brilliant cast, we have Cloris Leachman playing Shirley. I will talk about who Shirley is in a moment, but I will say I loved what she brought to this, particularly doing the Pfeffernuss scene, which I'll talk about more in a little bit. I absolutely loved that scene. The episode focuses on Maddie trying to give Arlo the Christmases that he remembered with his mother. Arlo is constantly talking, maybe much to Maddie's detriment, about how fantastic his Christmases were with his adoptive mother and all of the wonderful things she used to do. So Maddie persuades, by which I mean forces, Thelma and Frank to stay for Christmas and to help give Arlo this fantastic Christmas. And he asks, for decorations, and in true Maddie style, she goes completely overboard. The house is amazing. Something I've mentioned in at least one other Kirstie review is that the set designs and the props are incredible in this show. They're always visually so gorgeous. And needless to say, this is no exception. Everywhere you look, there are gorgeous Christmas decorations. There are a lot of kind of feminine colours, a lot of pinks and purples, which works very well for it being Maddie's home. Visually, it blew me away. Absolutely stunning. And that's not all. Because while Maddie is giving Arlo this brilliant Christmas present, as in the gift of Christmas, Arlo has done what he thought was the right thing in giving... I will continue to call Maddie Kirstie. I apologise if it keeps happening. To give Maddie the Christmas gift of her mother. Her mother is, of course, played by Cloris Leachman, Shirley. And Maddie and Shirley don't necessarily see eye to eye. They've always got a bit of an acrimonious mother-daughter relationship. It's not exactly sweetness and sugar plums. And it's largely about Maddie trying to continue to keep up this Christmas spirit while also constantly feeling like her mother is criticising her and putting her down. The reason she feels that is because that is what is happening. But, don't take it the wrong way. Maddie also gives as good as she gets. And a classic Christmas family feud ensues. Most of it culminating around the Pfeffernuss scene, which is one of my favourites. I absolutely love it. They're all dressed, I guess this is a tiny spoiler for something very funny that happens, but I'm probably going to use it as the thumbnail. They are all dressed in matching onesies and reindeer hats, and I have to say Rhea Perlman as Rudolph just was the icing on the cake. The cherry on the icing of the cake, ironically, looked like a cherry. Absolutely loved it when she walked in. It was just one of the funniest moments in the whole episode. Which I thought was just a brilliant scene, really made me chuckle. Maddie is actually drunk and quite irate and is unable to say Pfeffernuss, and it's one of Kirstie Alley's finest performances in Kirstie. I'm not saying it's Oscar worthy, and I'm not saying that no other actor could give this performance, but there was just something about her performance in this particular scene that I really adored. It was very emotive and very moving, and I thought it was an absolutely fantastic performance that I really thoroughly enjoyed. It's a very funny episode, but there is a lot of emotion in this. There's a line about decking and hanging that I particularly liked. The whole thing about Thelma collecting turtles and Maddie telling her to grow up or tell her to stop it. She's a grown woman. It's... Obviously, the delivery of the line from Kirstie Alley is much more effective than what I have just done, but it is very funny and entertaining. And ultimately, it had a very sweet ending. I won't say any more than that, but it definitely was very moving, very joyful. Not the most cheerful Christmas episode, but certainly the most, I want to say, accurate for the average family. It is very festive visually, great performances, very funny, fabulous costumes. Needless to say, I really thoroughly enjoyed Little Bummer Boy.